Hi, dear Toastmasters, guests, and friends. Welcome to an in person open heart with District 31. Tonight, I have a world class speaker, a trainer, distinguished Toastmaster Dr. Jesus with me. Toastmaster Jesus, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you, Vera, for having me here. It was a wonderful night here at the Shrewsbury Toastmaster. A pleasure to spend the night with you guys.
Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Jesus. Toastmaster Jesus, I'd like to ask your Toastmasters journey. Where did it start? How did it start? Would you like to share something about that?
Yes, I started Toastmaster around 2008, Boston University Toastmaster Club, and I was very hesitant to join because public speaking is not my cup of tea. But I understood how important for a scientist is to be able to communicate science in a way that is digestible, meaningful for people. And actually, if you take into context what would just happen with COVID, how important it is for scientists to be able to communicate properly. So that was the interest for me to join Toastmaster, and since then I've been going through all the paces of the club, and the thing that I enjoy the most is to be a YLP coach. Youth Leadership Program is a program to actually train youth in public speaking, and we've been doing that for the last 10 years. We've impacted over 800 students, so it's been a pleasure to be part of that journey.
Amazing, Toastmaster Jesus. 800 students. Can you tell me some stories from your YLP experiences?
Yeah, one of the things about YLP is that no kids wants to be there. Actually, when we started to do this, it was Friday nights after school. They're tired. They don't want to do anything, and most of the kids are forced by the parents. You have to do this program, but at the end, they actually enjoy and love that. I think the most meaningful for us has been to start with young kids, in their journey, and now they're in college, and we can see how impactful public speaking is. Has been actually the differentiator. They're all smart academically, but the ones that are able to communicate properly are a standing professional now. And I don't have any kids, and I feel proud of their achievements. So it's been a pleasure to be part of their journey in public speaking.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jesus. Dear Toastmasters, try youth leadership program and give an opportunity for a youth leader to experience Toastmasters. Toastmaster Jesus, for our audience watching our talk show, what would you say one or two reasons why should they join Toastmasters?
Number one, it's about you. In this competitive world, we are all have diplomas, we're smart, we all have training. But at the end, everyone looks the same on paper. I think the differentiating factor is when you are able to take the lead and people can listen to you, that you can convince people in a way that it's meaningful, and also learn how to listen to them in a meaningful manner. I think that's the difference. And that's something that we forget a lot. So joining Toastmaster is a way to practice both, not only speaking, but listening. Carefully listening to people's feelings, to what is important to them, what is meaningful for them. When you have a good combination of listening skills and speaking skills, I think it grounds you as a human being, as a professional, and gives you that little edge. So that will be the reason why you should join. The reason why you should stick to the program that is maybe more important is that you realize that the more you learn, the more influence you gain in your profession, and the more powerful you need to become as a public speaker. So learning not only the first steps, the techniques, and feel comfortable is just how to get to the next level and be able to convey message in a very short period of time with a lot of confidence, but with the ability to touch people's hearts in a way that is meaningful for them.
Thanks a lot for sharing that, Toastmaster Jesus. Can you share an impact of Toastmasters on your personal life, professional life, social life, spiritual life?
As you can tell, for me, my accent, I'm not from here. I'm from Venezuela. I'm not from United States. And Toastmaster opened the opportunity to do three things. One, understand people from the cultural perspective a little bit better. The environment is so warm and so welcoming. Then you can build those connections to people. So that was very important for me. The second is to understand the nuances of how people perceive you. In a place they tell you, well, I think you should work on these. It's difficult for me to understand you when you talk too fast, or you should improve here. So having the ability to listen from people that really wants your best. They have you in the best interest, in such a candid way. It's a gift, and being in a club that cares about you is something that is really meaningful. And the third, I think, that has been transformational for me is to understand that at the end, doesn't matter how much you grow professionally, you need to be able to convey your professional message in a way that is easy for people to understand. Especially I work in science, I work in health. It's really hard to forget that people don't understand our lingo. They don't understand the technicalities of our vocabulary. This is a place where you can actually try to develop that ability and your message and ask people at the end of your 3 minute speech, was it clear? What can I do better? So that ground of perfecting your ability to communicate is a gift that we don't have in our day-to-day job. A job, what you say matters and has an impact. Here, what you say has an impact for you, but it's safe. You made a mistake, not a problem. You can come back the next week and do it again.
Thanks a lot for sharing that, Toastmasters Jesus. Now we enter what is called a rapid fire round. Are you ready for some fun,
I'm
Toastmasters
ready.
Jesus? Toastmasters Jesus, a historic leader that inspires you a lot.
Hard question to ask. There's many leaders. They comes in many flavors, many, many shapes. And I think the best leader, it's the one that you can become. Take a little bit of everyone. Strive to be a little bit of that, but become a leader in your community. Become a leader for yourself, and use those the plethora of leaders that are available to us as a way to guide you to the next phase of your life.
Thanks a lot for sharing that. A historic speech that is very close to your heart.
Wow. I would say, without a doubt, Martin Luther King speech, it is one of them, right? Because it's vulnerable, it's meaningful, and it was transformational for that time. I think speeches as such change so much the perspective of culture, in a way that it's very meaningful. So having those speeches as your pointing, um, um, direction in how to become a little bit of that. Just to try to get at 1% of such magic. It's meaningful for me.
Thanks a lot for sharing your personal speech. When you've written it, when you delivered it, you thought you did a great job. Any speech that comes to your mind?
Yes, I would say the first speech that I gave on YLP. We had like 15 kids, and I took the time to say something about them, something that I learned from them, something that inspired me about them, was very meaningful because it meant that I learned as much or maybe more than they did from me. So I was so grateful that I had to put it into words.
That's impactful and life changing, Toastmasters Jesus. A food that is very close to your palate. Any food?
Oh, burgers and French fries. Yeah, guilty of that. Yeah, I love.
Thank you for sharing that. A restaurant that you like to recommend to our Toastmasters?
I would say that there is a very good Venezuelan restaurant in Boston. They have a good mix of what we eat. So it's called Orinoco. There's a couple places. So if you have the ability, to go and taste something different, go ahead and try a little bit of our culture.
Thank you. We'll try Orinaka real quick. A book recommendation that you would like to share with our Toastmasters.
I would say Give and Take from Adam Grant. Adam Grant he's a scholar, and I think reading that book for me was transformational because it allowed me to understand a little bit what type of individuals we are. Some are givers, some are takers, some are matchers, and what I was falling within that equation and understanding people from that perspective was really, really good. So he wrote the book a few years back. He has continued to write in that area, but Give and Take from Adam Grant, great leadership book.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jesus. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with our audience?
Yes, what I would say is don't wait. If you want to get into the journey of becoming a better public speaker, that's something that cannot be delayed. This is something that you do for you. It's an hour and a half of your, week, every 2 weeks that you devote for your growth, and has a tremendous impact in your personal and professional life. So if you wanna get into that journey. You don't actually need to commit on day one. Just start, give the first steps, and then you will see how important it is for you to to open the door to the possibilities of what you need to communicate, because everyone has a message to say, and everyone has a message worth listening to. So I would like to listen to your message in the next weeks and join Just Ready Toastmaster. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jesus. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you choose to come down and talk to us. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you so much for the invitation. A pleasure to be here.
Thank you, dear Toastmasters. Have a good one. Bye bye.